let's talk about care under fire. Let's say we're in a gunfight here and we are doing the right thing. We're suppressing. These guys are then going to go flank to the right, but immediately as they move out, this guy gets shot through the leg and goes down. What do? How do you deal with this serious injury in the battlefield while the fight is still raging on? Well, a lot of people are going to be tempted to turn around, grab your buddy, do aid, and try and pull him back to cover. And while that's very cool, very brave, very cinematic, high probability you're also going to get shot. If they were able to land hits on your buddy, they're probably going to be able to land hits on you. And then suddenly you've just made the situation so much worse by doubling the number of casualties you've taken. So what is typically preferred, the better tactical solution, is to simply win the gunfight. You want to make sure if the buddy is able to be responsive, he can apply a tourniquet himself. Maybe he can crawl to behind cover and we can get a medic up to treat him. But we can't spend too much time trying to save him when the enemy is still trying to kill you. So the right way to do this is to continue to suppress the enemy, continue to flank, get the enemy, maybe you can knock down the enemy or heavily suppress them, win the gunfight in any case, so that once the gunfight is won, you can then run out, grab your buddy, do the treatment, everything you need so that he's taken care of. But you don't do anybody any good by trying to go to your buddy before the gunfight is won, because you're going to just make the situation so much worse.
Let's talk about the role of the medic on the battlefield. So naturally, individual soldiers are going to be responsible for self and buddy aid. Everyone has their own first aid kit. Most folks are going to be going through in the Army. It's called the Combat Lifesaver course, which teaches you all the stuff about like how to use tourniquets, how to pack wounds, how to move your buddy from point A to point B safely while they're injured. And this is going to be very important at that individual level to handle a lot of the more egregious injuries before they quickly get out of hand. However, the medic is a little bit different. He didn't go to the infantry school or anything like that. He went to the medic school. He is a trained medical personnel, and he has like a comprehensive medical kit. Then he has the training to know how to use it. He has the ability to treat and stabilize serious injuries out in the field and make sure that it doesn't get worse. He's going to coordinate with the first sergeant and medevac facilities to make sure that people get the long-term care that they need so that they actually are able to survive and hopefully make as much of a recovery as they can. And then, of course, lastly, they're going to be handling the very unpleasant task of triage. Triage is determining who gets what care in what order to ensure that everybody has the maximum chance of survival. And that involves making some very tough decisions, and we'll talk about that next. Let's take a moment now and talk about triage and what happens in a mass casualty situation. Now, these events are really when we're dealing with a situation that creates casualties with either an injury quantity or severity that exceeds the capabilities and resources of your medical personnel. So the principles are very simple. We're trying to accomplish the greatest number of good for the greatest number of people and employ the most efficient use of materials as you can. When people come in, you're typically assigning them codes: red, yellow, green, or black. Red means that they're in immediate danger and they need immediate treatment. This is your extreme hemorrhaging, all sorts of different like head wounds, things that they are going to die if they do not get treated in the next 30 seconds to a minute. Yellow is your delayed. Yellow is where you have a little bit more time. They may have been stabilized, but they're still going to need extra bandaging. Maybe wound dressings need to be changed, and they need to be monitored very closely. Green is minimal. Green is the sort of thing where people get scuffs, bruises, and they need to go to the medical tent or whatever. Those guys, we need to return them to duty as soon as possible. That's the third principle over there. Naturally, if you have red and yellow, they need to be taken care of first with a priority. But it can be, you may be able to apply maybe some, Joe, a private, whatever, who has some generic medical training and can apply those bandages. He may be able to help out with the little stuff there. And you can have the medics and the surgeons and whoever you've got apply to the more immediate stuff there, because that guy can then, get back in the fight and take care of other stuff and prevent more casualties from coming back. Now, the last category is black. This is the very unfortunate nature of triage, is that some people can't be saved. And it's important to identify those people quickly so you can make them comfortable and you can take care of them. But those medical professionals need to move on to the next people that can actually be helped. We don't want to be wasting time, resources, and equipment on trying to save somebody that is already going to die. And that's the unfortunate nature of this. That's why this stuff needs to be practiced, and we need to approach it ahead of time, intellectually and emotionally, so that when we're faced with that moment, we know what that looks like, so that we can go help the greatest number of people and try and make a difference as best we can.